Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you for joining us today. Another beautiful Sunday as we continue our development, evolution, connectedness, however we want to see it, as we continue this, but also continue to inform of the anticipating changes that are upon us now. So, for example, a few months ago, we were looking at this transformation of the fear energy into frustration, anger, irritation, and then action. And yesterday, many of us witnessed the incredible bravery and sovereignty of so many individuals who decided that they would take a part of a peaceful protest, and all those who are taking a stand in the local parks, like simply to express the action of their sovereignty, freedom. So the energy of freedom, the energy of wanting freedom. So we are now moving from a place of where we were focused on things that we don't want to now things that we do want. And we are now transitioning. This is like a transitioning phase. And as a result, you're seeing the erupting seeds that were planted in the equinox of hope, of optimism, of freedom, of sovereignty. And a month later, you find that this energy is starting to sprout through these protests, through these language as well. And also that society in itself is now in the process of dividing. And this division becomes more and more solidified with more information as it begins to go through the wall of censorship. And for example, the information regarding the impact of those who have had the irreversible intervention, how their skin, because the entire body is immediately networked into changing its structure in some ways, in its protein structure, that the skin that falls off, etc., contains that modification, which impacts those individuals who haven't taken the irreversible intervention. And this is particularly should be concerning to women. Should be concerning to women because the implications are to do with menstruation, monthly cycles, and more importantly, fertility. Right. So you can see as more and more of these information begins to come through. The division will become sharper. The division will become more pronounced. And as we spoke about a few weeks back, that the division is upon us. It's taking place right now. And it's important not to add to the noise. It's important not to add to the emotional imbalance that's going on in there, but to maintain your own emotional balance. Why is that important? The reason it's important is because it is through our emotions that we engage. It is through emotion that we are motivated to act. We don't tend to act. Either it's something physical like hunger, or it is an emotion for safety, an emotion for security drives our actions. So bearing in mind that we were all part of this soup that is constantly changing, and we will come back to the theme of change that we've been talking about over the last maybe 3 or 4 sessions. And there is a reason we are focusing on the theme of change, not because things are changing, but how you can position yourself through your experience within this changing matrix, including your changing self, to be part of the flow and to contribute to the flowing without being resistant to things that are obviously starting to irritate and affect all of us. So, why is the emotion important? Because we live within this soup of frequencies and vibrations. Our emotions, our thought is nothing more than a chemical change which can be ultimately reduced to a vibration, a frequency, a particular movement of energy. And this movement of energy has consequences. It affects all that's around you, and including yourself. So the thought and the emotion, they become entangled, create a kind of a story that has emotional feel to it. This intensifies that fractal. It intensifies what was a seed into becoming bigger and more intense, until it begins to manifest outwards, right? The same is true for our health. It begins with the mind and then it comes back out. It's not the other way around. So it's important to maintain our own balance within this, and not to contribute to the imbalance that is starting to now take shape, which will eventually, and when I say eventually, perhaps over the next couple of years, will eventually find some level of balance. At the moment, we are still recovering from the initial imprisonment and change in lifestyle and impact on economy, etc. Even though many have been coerced into this situation through the furlough scheme and through various handouts. And that's because it's going towards a universal income. That's really where society is moving towards, in this universal income space. And this is just a nice, convenient transition that we've been experiencing. So coming out of that now into this moment of freedom, which is synchronized with the spring moment of growth, this really does provide us with the opportunity to emphasize this energy of freedom. Energy of freedom. If you focus on freedom, then freedom will come upon you. And really now it's about learning how we singularly and collectively can participate towards creating a frequency, contributing to a frequency which expresses things that are of value to the whole. Yeah, so things that are based on freedom, on sovereignty, things that are based outside the control and the confines of the ego. And that's really the criteria. Those that are trapped in the sense of self and the ego will be trapped in fear, anger, all of that kind of stuff. And this will have an impact which includes taking the intervention and so on and so forth. And there are those who are awakening in this process, that yes, there may be a sense of self that we have, which we can call ego, even though that's a figment of your imagination. However, there is this conscious space within which we are able to recognize what seems to be going on around us. And this synchronized with the feeling, with the intuitive feeling of what's going on, does it feel right or wrong, is directing our actions. It's directing the way forward. So it is a truly auspicious moment that we're all in. It is profound. Why is it auspicious? Is because it gives us an opportunity to recognize the universal controlling system. And this is where our notion of change and our theme of change has been so important as a thread. So we began with first recognizing that everything around you is right this moment going through a change. Right this very second, not even a second is too long. Right in this infinitely small moment, everything is in a process of change. In a process of change that takes a particular pattern. And that pattern is something begins, it grows, and then it decays, falling back into that from which it came forth, that from which it began. So if we look at ourselves, the body is nothing more but the composite of earth. It's what you eat and what you drink is what the body is. That's what is changed and converted into blood cells and various hormones and the growth factors, etc., etc., etc. But ultimately, that which feeds the body is nothing more than earth. It is either the things that you grow, you eat, or the things that eat what is grown, that one eats. That's really where it's at. Then the other part of the body is the water. That too is self-existed, pre-existed before you as a body were created. And that too is a pre-existing condition which is integrated in order to form this vessel that we may call a body, through which air flows, through which electricity goes up and down, and you can feel it through sensations, and that which occupies a space. So we realize that just as we are composites of these 5 elements, so it appears is everything else around us. And just as we are in a constant process of change, so is everything around us. All right, so we recognize the changing nature of this moment. The next thing we recognize is to understand how does it change happen. And just to reiterate what we said a while back, it's understanding that it has a process, understanding it is self-creating, understanding that it isn't just subject to one thing, that every single thing that exists in the moment of now, that is here within you, and everything outside you, including the universe, beyond the universe, is in every form of life, in every form of mineral, in every form of that which is seen and unseen, is all going through this change. The magnitude of it, once we recognize it, just lie down tonight and look at the stars, and you will realize the magnitude of this. And this is all going through change, as this moment is. So now we begin to understand the magnitude. So the next thing is that, well, in order for change to take place, there must be a direction, an intention, a desire. Otherwise, change does not take place. And you can see this in your own experience. So now the realization is that change occurs with intention, with desire, with the notion of a will, a willing self. Something that wills something to do and then does it. Yeah, intention is the fundamental requirement for change to occur. That is my experience. And because it is my experience, and it should be everyone else's experience, then we realize that this must be a truth because I'm experiencing it. So now we apply the same logic experience with logic, and we say, all right, well, then we can infer that all that is changing through an intention. Now, if it is changing through an intention, then the next question is, where does this intention originate from? And your intention originates from you, from your sense of self, and all that's around you and everyone else around you. The same is true, that there is some intention that seems to be within that which is created, which all follows the rule as set by this natural process, natural organic process. And recognizing that allows us to recognize that all that is happening, all that is taking place beyond your control. It is taking place because it needs to happen. All is as it needs to be. All is as it needs to be. Nothing more, nothing less. Yes, we may not like what we are experiencing, but that's immaterial. Existence favors consciousness. Existence favors that which contributes meaning, favor the selfish, does not favor the greedy, does not favor the ones who are so consumed with their tiny little sense of self that their entire life will be lived either as a miser or a security guard, a fearful, just fearing, just wanting to protecting themselves from the inevitable. And the inevitable comes to all of us. So recognizing that this change process is taking place, recognizing that you are blessed, ultimately blessed to be able to experience this, because right now, most of us are okay. Right now, most of us are okay. And bring yourself back to this understanding that that which takes care of all of this organic process is also looking after you and all that's around you. And this is what it means to begin to awaken, to begin to recognize that no, we are not the confines of these tiny little mental egos that we hold. But once we begin to actually explore the nature of reality, we begin to recognize that we too occupy an insignificant space, but profoundly significant, depending on how you are blessed and graced to know who and what you are. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Expect this energy of freedom to start to grow more and more. Expect by midsummer this to be quite significant. But having said that, look, there are two agendas going on. So with this, you can also expect a retaliation from those that don't need this kind of waking up. Require a compliant, consenting society that doesn't lift its eyes up, simply follows the rules and does what it's told, and not sovereign human beings. Unfortunately, humanity is waking up, and thank God for that. It's about time. Okay, so let's move to our meditation. And again, today we will be exploring, we will be exploring. So let's look at, we did a mountain meditation the other day. So we'll follow the same theme again. So part of the meditation is to become present in your body. And it really works well sitting on the floor cross-legged. It really works well. And we're going to go towards something that allows us to visualize first. We're going to visualize a mountain of a sort. And in this mountain, at one stage, we are also going to allow this visualization to embed the body itself, to embody it, to become part and parcel of us, just to experience how our mind can create a sense of reality within us that can be profoundly grounding, especially if you feel a bit wobbly. It can be a really good meditation to begin with. And then we will go to the second part of the meditation, in which we will cultivate a sense of stillness and silence, and then see if we can imbibe that within our everyday experience, within our body itself. So it's not enough to just meditate, but actually how to actualize that in our everyday living. That's really the essence of true meditation, how you bring it out in your everyday life. And it's not all to do with stress and anxiety. It's to do with much more. Okay, so back straight. Loosen your shoulders. Loosen your neck. Okay, make sure that your shoulders are not hunched. So one good way of doing that is to hunch your shoulders and then allow them to drop. Your hands are in a comfortable place. Your eyes are closed. Your mouth is closed unless you can't breathe through your nose. And then as you breathe in, you become aware of what's going on within you. So go through like a system, a protocol. It helps. So try and get a sense of the whole body first. Notice the top, notice the bottom, notice the front of your body, notice the back. And then the whole, as best as you can, just sense it. You don't need to imagine it or think about it, but just sense your body. Next, bring your focus now to your chest and see how you feel. And as transparently as you can, right this moment, do you feel settled? Do you feel peaceful? Do you feel calm? Is this moment pleasant? Is this moment comfortable? Or do you feel unsettled, anxious, irritated, concerned? Take a moment to notice how you feel right now. And then bringing your focus now to your thoughts. Notice what kind of thoughts are there or you have been having. And if there's nothing there, that too is okay. And then take a moment to just notice the sounds that are around you, locating yourself, knowing that all these sounds exist around you, but you will be focusing upon yourself. Now bring your focus back to yourself. Notice where your body makes contact with where you're sitting or lying down. And notice the sensations within your body. Becoming aware of your hips, noticing the sides of your hips, noticing the back and the front. And as you breathe out, bring your focus down your thighs gently. Notice you are doing this with your intention, coming towards your knees. From your knees, you move your focus down towards your ankles. From your ankles, you move down to your feet. Notice the soles of your feet. Bringing your focus back to wherever your body makes contact with wherever you're sitting or lying down. As you breathe in, bring your focus to your lower back. Next breath in, bring your focus to your middle back. Next breath in, bring your focus up towards your shoulder blades. From your shoulders, move your focus down towards your elbows, moving down towards your wrists, Notice the palms of your hands. Notice the fingers on your hands. Bringing your focus to your eyes. Notice the darkness. This is the awareness. And you can be aware of the back of your eyelids. You can be aware of your thoughts. You can be aware of your emotions, the sounds around you. Allow your eyes to relax, bringing your focus to your tongue. Notice the sensations on the surface. Breathing out, allow your tongue to soften. On your next breath out, allow your face to soften. Bringing your focus just beneath your nose. Begin to watch the breath as it moves in and out of your body. Hold your focus just beneath your nose with a little bit of effort. Knowing as the breath comes in, knowing when the breath goes out. Right from the start all the way till the end. As best as you can. When you're ready, imagine a mountain as best as you can. A mountain with a high peak. A mountain that may be covered with snow. A mountain that stands there as the storms come in and the storms go out. A mountain that is lashed with rain, snow and blizzards, and bathed with cool sunshine and gentle breezes. A mountain that is strong, grounded. Imagine it as best as you can. As you breathe in, bringing your focus to your body as a whole, imagine your body taking the shape of the mountain. Becoming the mountain in a way. And as you breathe in, saying to yourself, I am a mountain. And as you breathe out, saying to yourself, I'm solid. Mountain, I am solid. Mountain on the breath in, solid on the breath out. Feeling that. Mountain on the breath in, solid on the breath out. And with every breath out, notice how firm and grounded you begin to feel. Mountain as you breathe in, solid as you breathe out. Feeling that solidity, feeling that firmness increase with every breath out. mountain on the breath in, solid on the breath out. Notice the effect it's having on the body as you do this. Synchronized with your breath. Mountain on the breath in, solid on the breath out. Feeling that solidity being communicated through every single cell in your body. Embedding you in the moment of now, solidly. Now bringing your focus to your breath, without repeating anything, begin to listen to your breath. Listening to the in-breath as it comes in, listening to the out-breath as it comes out. Listening as intently as you can. Listening to the breath in, listening to the breath out. Notice how the breath sounds from the start as it comes in till the end, and how it sounds when it goes out from the start all the way till the end. Following the breath. Notice there's no sound at the end of your out breath. Follow your out breath all the way till the end, listening to it. Notice there's no sound at the end of your out breath or at the end of your in breath. See if you can notice that. Notice that silent pause at the end of your out breath as best as you can. On your next breath out, gently opening your awareness and allowing all the sounds around you to come to you. Try not to pick a sound, think of a sound, judge it, work it out, or seek it. Just open to the sounds as a receiver. Listening. Listening. Listening as intently as we can. In this ocean of stillness and silence, you too are still and silent. While everything around you moves, everything around you changes. Yet you are singular, embedded in a changing environment, yet you remain unchanging. Simply consciousness, creative flow, flowing through this time and this space of here and now. Without fear, without hate, timeless, eternal, perpetuating itself. And to know your silence and stillness is grace itself. Notice the silence and stillness at the end of the spell. Allow this stillness and silence to embody you, to become your whole being, your whole self, permeating in each and every cell, on each and every hair on your body. Silent, still, peaceful. Notice how it fills the body up, filling your body with peace, with silence, with stillness. Notice as it fills your thighs, moving from your knees all the way down to your ankle, filling your feet and even the soles of your feet. Notice how it fills your back, your middle back, your shoulder blades, and how it moves from your shoulders down to your elbows, all the way down towards your palms and the fingertips. Filling your eyes, filling your jaw, filling your tongue, your mouth, filling your entire face. Bringing your focus now to your breath and sitting with your breath and your body. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. Allowing that lightness, that peace to be as gentle as your breath. to be part and parcel of each and every cell in your body. Breathing in and breathing out. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few slow, deep breaths in, and then gently, gently opening your eyes, bringing that peace and stillness into the environment you're in. Welcome back. May you be peaceful, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe. And may this peace ripple out of you, bringing kindness, compassion to all those that you come across. Look after yourself. Hope to see you next Sunday. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.